man catch you bust that. Think give me that WhatsApp, but when I hit you, better bring me that rucksack. Like on the old block with a buck back. 2 hands on my clutch that. On some.
It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. It'll be the visiting team taking on Washington. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. And so off the tip, it's Washington. They set the pick. Down low, Wiseman. Outside Irving. And there's the drive. Here's Wiseman. Uses the glass to finish the lane.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Yeah, APB sent out to try to find out where the defense is. Inexcusable.
And here is Irving. And the shot goes down. And on paper, Greg, this might seem like a potential blowout, but anything can happen in this NBA.
Kevin, we see upsets happen all the time. It's what makes the sport great. You can't take any team or game for granted.
Harden, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Pass to Wiseman. And here is Mutombo. Back to Wiseman. Misses the follow-up. It's Bryant, high post. Inside. Irving with the steal. Miller with the ball. Picked up by Brown. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Jaylen Brown.
And you watch Miller, he keeps the defense on its heels. They don't know what he's going to do.
Miller taking 2 shots.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Well, a big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. Don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
Now, here is Harden. Driving inside. And he banks in the layup.
Just simply creating offense. That's what James Harden is. He is the system.
And so it's Thompson with it. He'll bring it up for the Huskies. Talk about confidence. Greg, what do you think about Harden's quote from a couple years ago when he said, "I'm not a system player. I am the system."
Personal foul.
Kevin, I laughed when I heard it because most guys couldn't say that, but Harden, absolutely. He's an elite scorer turned elite passer. Your offense has to orbit around him when he's on the floor. Love seeing Giannis use that athleticism. Fantastic there with the finish.
There's the pick. And it's Miller in the corner. And again, Washington no good. And it's sent back by Irving.
And not many guys Irving's size are this good at blocking shots. Takes incredible timing and athleticism. Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me. Here's Harden. After the basket by Washington. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on James Wiseman. When you think about James Harden, he's had such an effect on the game. Brent, they changed the rules because of him.
Well, it's interesting, Kevin, because you can think about it a couple of ways. There was a system change for James Harden to try the system, and then, as James has said himself, he became the system. So leaning into all of the analytics of basketball, you have to have somebody who can represent all of the things that system would require, and it came in the form of the beard for many years. And that kind of offensive output is something that is going to be, we'll be hard-pressed to see that again, Kevin.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Brooks grabs the board.
Let's hope for his sake that he does not try that one ever again.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not one to puff out his chest and chase accolades. He said, I put the work in. That's how I get my confidence. I don't follow the media or my stats. What I know is that I put the work in, and I try to be the best version of myself. And that focus has served him well. Kevin?
It has. You know, his dedication, David, unquestioned. And we appreciate your report. With the drive and the dunk by Bamba.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
And the gamble paying off.
And a wide open look for Porter. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
And shots like this are why people are just so high on Porter. Has such a quick release on that jumper.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
And guys, you might remember that he was not at his best from the foul line in their last outing.
Well, this man at the line is a puzzle that defenses for years in this league have just not been able to solve. And that is really the story of James Harden's career.
Here's Black. .110 left in the first quarter. Miller outside. No good on the triple.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide open look from three-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them. Not just the accuracy in the quarter, it's his movement and the energy that's getting him on this nice roll.
Here's Black. Outside Porter. Bridges left side. He's looking for Ball and finds him. And the dunk by Ball.
That's nice vision there. You see that pass, you make the feed before the defense has a chance to react, and that opens up a much better opportunity to score.
Now here's Brooks. Pass to Harden. Fires the three. Huskies with the rebound. There's 18 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Black. And Domantas Sabonis pulls it down. Now, here is Harden. Brooks outside. He gets it up. Tie game in Washington. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
The visiting team, 13.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And what do you guys think about the Huskies here in this one?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Working the offensive glass that sometimes comes from predictable shots from your offense, and they've been opportunistic here.
Here's Poole. Rebounded by Dikembe Mutombo.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
Brent, Domantas Sabonis is truly a player you can run an offense through.
Yeah, he's a guy that you can basically put anywhere on the floor, and all of a sudden good things are going to happen, whether he's playing out of the post and dealing with double teams, or he's at the top of the key, able to read the defense, using his vision and his ability as a big to drive the basketball. Domantas, one of the better playmaking fives that we have in the NBA.
Pass to Wiseman. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. And it's Dikembe with the jam.
An aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. And finish off by Bryant.
And Poole's vision developing right in front of us.
Irving with the ball. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Hands it from downtown. Irving's got 5 points so far.
One of the more skilled offensive players that is on the floor here tonight. Not an easy fella to hold in check.
And Jason Kidd is called timeout. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. Wow, Giannis with a strong finish inside.
So tough stopping Antetokounmpo. Not just the length, but he plays with passion you don't often see.
Outside Irving. Pass to Wiseman. Second chance shot. It's rebounded by Poole. Giannis outside.
Washington foul. Anthony Brown. First personal foul. First team foul.
Washington on D. Here's Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo converts inside. Brent, would you say the point guard is considered the toughest position to play in basketball?
You know, Kevin, I think there's been a massive shift in what the point guard represents in the NBA game. I mean, how many teams over the past couple of years that have won championships have played with a traditional setup guard? What we're looking at is duos that can dribble, pass, and shoot and devastate defenses.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Toppin. Kick out to Giannis. Good defense. Better shot from Antetokounmpo.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Now Thompson. Still yet to score. Outside Irving. Mutombo inside. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
Yeah, everybody trying to get away from one another, and the threads are keeping them close. This has been highly competitive.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys.
Substitution on the court.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. And here's Thompson. Miller outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Miller's got 5 points so far.
And they're right around 50% for the game on their threes, and they've only gotten better as the game's gone on.
Here's Shannon. Miller grabs the miss. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Milwaukee. They host the 76ers after this. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a hand on it.
Now, here's Thompson. Nothing on the board. Porter, no luck. There's 1:40 left in the second quarter. Topping inside. Over Porter. Nice D from Porter. And so it's the Huskies with it. Lobbed up there for Miller. And the dunk by Bull.
Very little resistance against that throwdown.
Nope, not what they want to see in a game this close, Greg.
On one side, inspiration. On the other, devastation.
Assist goes to.
Well, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
To the paint. Here's Bull. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sabonis. Sabonis with the steal. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession.
Substitution on the court.
Out to Thompson. There's 48 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. For Washington, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
And so Thompson nails both of them. Now here's Harden. 9 points in the game so far. It's Brooks on the wing. Back to Harden. Shot clock at 6. Going inside. Here's Bamba. Bridges with the board.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
That one goes in.
We see this night in and night out. Thompson uses his size and elevation to make tough shots in the paint.
Here's Harden. And so it's Washington with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Bryant looking it over. Kicks it out to Harden. And Harden with the stuff.
All right, Harden still got some hops and finishing that one off with some power.
Here's Thompson. Pass to Wiseman. A good finish at the rack off the slick feet. Wiseman's got the lead up to 6 now for the Huskies. Here's Antetokounmpo. And Giannis throws it down.
Off the bounce, Giannis gets to the basket in a hurry. What a find.
Here's Irving. To the middle. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Huskies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. That's good from Irving.
A great athlete and an even better human being. It's easy to love Julius Irving. What he brings to this team and also what he brings to the community.
Now, here is Harden. 11 points in the game. Takes a 3. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Harden's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, it's not a handful. It's a bundle of these kind of performances from James Harden. What a night.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Giannis left side. Wiseman sends it back.
And on a per-minute basis, Wiseman already gets a lot of blocks, and his defensive awareness will only improve with time.
Outside, Kobe. Harden outside. From outside the arc. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
Yeah, they've only missed 1 out of their first 5 shots here in the second half, guys. Their offense really moving well, ball snapping, and the shooting looks to be in great rhythm.
And finished off by Wiseman.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Pass to Bamba. And out of bounds as the Huskies gain possession.
Substitution for the Huskies, number 0.
The Huskies leading by 4. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Shots good by Miller.
They are on fire right now. That's 4 straight makes.
Giannis outside. Pass to Harden. Into the lane. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
Yeah, this is something that you just learned. You cannot underestimate the physicality of James Harden just warding off the contact.
Here's Black. He has yet to score. A nice shot by Irving.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Seems to be nobody standing in his way. No roadblocks for him to get to his spot, capitalize, and continue to be aggressive.
And here's Harden. After Julius Irving just hit the 3.
James Harden has really made a science of working himself to the free throw line, and we see that here once again.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game. And Washington making a change here. Good on the 2nd free throw. Just over 3.5 minutes through the 3rd quarter of play now. Outside Irving. Here's Bol. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Taking 2 shots.
And so Bol nails both of them.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Cool. Outside, Kobe. And Bol sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Bol.
Coming onto the floor for the away team, Del Montes.
To the inside. Oh, he misses the dunk.
Oh, no excuse for a guy of his caliber. You've got to finish that slam. Got to be a little embarrassed by that one.
One thing this team likes about Miles Bridges, Greg, he plays a lot. He's always there.
And Kevin, on a couple occasions, Bridges has been near the top in minutes played. He's got that strong 6'7" frame, and it holds up well over the season.
We've seen the NBA feature several overseas games, Greg, the last couple years. Always growing the sport, aren't they?
And I know the fans love it. And nothing quite like seeing an NBA game in person and expanding that opportunity. Always a plus.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, if you want to win, of course, playing both ends of the floor is essential. Former Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green says, we've seen teams for years make the mistake thinking they can put a great offense out there and win. You run up against a team that's just competent offensively, but they play defense, you're going to lose. Kevin?
Got the 1-2 punch, as Draymond talks about. Man, that is something tough to get by. DA thanks. Pass to Toppin. Driving to the basket. And he can't jam it through. Here's Bridges. Brooks grabs the board. Well, they've got some work to do to cut into this lead.
And no need to get away from the game plan, though. Plenty of time to get back in it. And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Outside, Porter. Shoots over Toppin. Sabonis grabs the board.
Well, if you believe in the numbers, that mid-range shot is not a high-value shot, even with little or no defense on you.
Drive. For Washington, they had gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Team foul.
That free throw missing.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. 8 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Sabonis. And he hits the buzzer beater.
Resourceful move there, ending the period on a high note.
Great way to end.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. And so it's Thompson with it. He'll bring it up for Washington. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. To the middle. Here's Bridges. Out to Miller. 5 to shoot. The 3. Carries it from 3-point range. Miller's got the lead up to 12 now for Washington.
Loves hitting those threes, especially off movement. It makes Miller so tough to defend.
And here's Harden for 3. That shot no good.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Bryant with it. And it's Miller picking him up. Got that bucket in no time at all. Harden's got 23 points.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Pass to Miller. Fires from deep. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
I'm not sure how he finds himself in so much space there. He's kicking himself for whiffing a bit on that one.
Hits the three-point bomb.
Oh, the rare catch and shoot from Harden, showing it's still in his bag.
Now Porter beyond the arc. Here's Wiseman. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. And the Huskies lead by 8. Here's Giannis. Big time slam, Giannis. Oh, my.
And won't find many more games as entertaining as this one.
No, this is about as high octane a game as you're going to find.
The drive by Thompson. And they're pushing it up. A shot by Harden. Wide open. From outside, off the mark. The Huskies leading by 6. Here's Thompson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And with his movement skills, Thompson routinely catches defenders out of position.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Washington.
Their accuracy in this one has just been on another level. I mean, the three ball keeps falling, and the defense just hasn't been able to run them off the line.
Well, we've also seen them being very aggressive down in the paint. All game long, they've been hunting down those inside points.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
And Jason Kidd is called timeout. There was no hesitating. He wants to talk to the team right now. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to listen in on what Jason Kidd was talking about with his players. Now he's encouraging them to keep attacking in the paint. He said, when we get inside, we score. Simple as that. Keep attacking and don't settle for anything that's not at the rim. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Right wing. Wiseman with the ball. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. And here's the break. Here's Bryant. Kobe on the break. It's good.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Thompson outside. And looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Well, after committing a turnover like that, you're just praying the game doesn't come down to the last possession. You'll remember that one.
Pass to Bamba. And it's headed to Kumbo, picking up the assist.
And all of a sudden, that great run makes this a ball game again. And now is no time to take your foot off the gas. They have got to stay aggressive.
Well, they stacked up everything to get to this point. Now they have to shift into overdrive.
Back to Miller. Down low. Here's Wiseman. And finished off by Wiseman.
And you can put Miller on either side of that pick and roll action. He has a terrific IQ.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. Brooks outside. On the wing, Bryant. Harden outside. Back to Bryant. Kobe Bryant! So good at finishing through contact.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Yeah, this is not the team that we saw in the first quarter right now. Way more confident out there, and the cohesion of the team is impressive.
The shot's good from Irving.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
The coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
And the foul called on Brandon Miller. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, Washington. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Inside. Antetokounmpo. Outside, Kobe. Here's Antetokounmpo. Here's Kobe. Rebound, Washington. Thompson right side. Here's Wiseman. And finished off by Wiseman.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
Nice to play with a point guard that takes pride in playmaking. It makes you move around just a little bit faster to get open spots.
Harden, no good.
You know, the ill-advised threes isn't how you want to close the gap. They've got to have better shots.
A nice shot by Irving.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Yes, that goes in.
And how about the find there from the young man? Giannis showing off a little vision there.
We're going the other way. 41 seconds left in the game. Back to Harden. Drives to the hoop. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
First personal foul.
Well, in the history of the game, James Harden gets to the line as well as anyone we've ever seen.
And a tough break is a second attempt at the line. No good.
Not a perfect trip to the free throw line, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
Huskies on offense. 6-point game. And that's an intentional foul.
Second personal foul. Fourth team foul.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
And I think they realize any hope of a comeback is gone.
Well, realistic at this stage of the game, they're going to lose this one, but will they take something from the loss?
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. on the wing, Miller. And it's Miller with the jam. And so Washington takes the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.